Okay, so come and stand in the middle of your mat, feet hip width apart. Perhaps a little wiggle on the toes, just scrunching the toes and then releasing, wiggling the fingers. Perhaps just a circle on the wrists. Just a little bit of a wake up on the small muscles in the body. Then start to think about growing nice and tall through the spine. Tuck the pelvis under. Length at the back of the neck, shoulders relaxed, palms facing forwards, equal weight underneath the feet. Find your pelvic floor and pull in 100%. It's going to be one of the main focuses for this practice now. Pelvic floor, transverse abdominis, hollow down to your hips. Hold, but just check you're not holding your breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and take your slow release on those core muscles, and then 2 more times pulling in. Take your 100% and breathe. Release any tension there in the jaw, perhaps between the eyebrows. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and your slow release. 1 more time pulling in. Connect with the pelvic floor. Transverse abdominis, hollowing it down to the hips, and breathe. Try and release any tension in the shoulders, the neck. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then take that core engagement down to 50%. Try and keep the connection, particularly with the pelvic floor in there as well today. Sometimes we just focus on the tummy and the belly button, but really work with the pelvic floor as well. So taking a jazz walk. Take a bit of an arm swing. You can do a little bit of a hip sway if it's there for you. It's just we're just freeing up kind of any tension in the ankles. We're rolling through the feet. Release the shoulders. Like it's a really sunny day and you're out walking the dog. I walk like this all the time when I walk the dog. The birds are singing. And we're just feeling this really nice feeling of freedom through the body. Crown head shining towards the sky. Allowing the shoulders to kind of move. They've got that kind of free, the shoulders are following the hips. It's almost a figure of 8 happening with the hips and the shoulders. Releasing there, any tension in the ankles. And then we're going to just bring that to some stillness and take the shoulders, lift them up to the ears and circle them back. So take that little bit of a squeeze, releasing there for the neck. Breathing in, lift, breathing out, release. Then just placing the hands on top of the shoulders and then work with the elbows. Breathing in, lift, breathing out, release. Drawing into those circles, working with these shoulders. And then let's just take all of the arms now. Breathing in, lift. You can pause here if you want that full body stretch. Breathing out, release. Press the feet down into the mat so you're feeling equal weight on the feet. Imagine it like a tree, your roots going from the feet down into the ground. And then as you reach your arms up, those branches reaching towards the sky. If you want to go a little bit more, take some balance here. So lifting up the heels, going up onto the toes. If you've got the screen down in front, I mean, I have to look down as well for my screen. Maybe bring the eye gaze, just do 3. Bring the eye gaze forward so you're not dipping your chin down and you're really feeling the release there at the back of the neck. The energy, the breath, prana is just going to flow up through all the way up to the crown of the head. If you get that little slight lift there on the chin, you're not looking down. And releasing down from there. Let's go to side bends, and if we just take your hands behind your head. Exhale, Slowly bend over to one side so your elbow just starts pointing down towards the floor. Keep working into that, and maybe each time you get a little bit further down, maybe you can think about the top elbow pointing up towards the sky, the bottom elbow down to the ground. Engaging that core, pelvic floor engaged, transverse abdominis engaged. Press down through the feet. Just keep focusing on what these elbows are doing. Opening there across the chest. Really stretching the fingers at the back of the head. We're not pushing the head forwards, but I'm kind of feeling a bit of a stretch on my fingers. I don't know if you're feeling that as well. And then here we can just take the top hand, extend, and then coming back into, it's almost, I kind of feel like a coat hanger somehow. Just bending side to side in the wardrobe. Exhale into that extension. 2 more. Coming into center. We're going to scapula set. If you want, which is this one, you can put your weights straight in, or if you want to do a couple just going without the weights, just to see how the shoulders are feeling. Go with it, go without. So palms are facing up, tuck your elbows into your sides. I'm going to grab my weights. Haven't done any weights for a week. Had a very nice holiday in Spain. Didn't go to the gym, but I did lots of bike riding and running, bit of swimming. But I'm feeling it that I didn't pick up any weights. I'm noticing. Palms facing up, stay strong in the wrist, strong in the forearms. Feeling those shoulder blades squeeze together. Now just check you're not dipping forwards. So just really think about pelvis tucking under, eye gaze forward. So again, if you're looking down at a screen, take your eye gaze forwards for a moment. Keep the length at the back of the neck. This is a really good posture exercise. Couple more. So the next one, we'll go to squats. If you've got the weights, it's going to be circle the weights around over the head and then take your squat position and your front raise. So I've gone straight in on weights. If you want to do some squats without the weights, you can always have a go without your weights. Breathing in, lift the arms over the head, full body stretch. Breathing out, take your squat. Hips going back into space, your knees, your feet hip width, feet parallel facing forwards. Eye gaze forwards. Squeezing those glutes as you lift up, send the hips forwards and up. Embrace and pull in the core. 3 more. Keep that length there at the back of the neck. Okay, wide squat position. Sumo squats. I'll adjust so you can see a little bit more of what I'm doing with my legs. Allowing the feet to turn out if it's more comfortable. Any tightness in the hips, perhaps a little shimmy side to side here. So it's a full moon on Friday. Good time to plant vegetables. Breathing in, drawing a big circle. Eye gaze forwards. Try and keep your head still. Heart center nice and still. Breathing in lift, breathing out release. Like you're just chasing around the full moon. Other way around. Eye gaze forwards, don't look down. Find the core muscles now, 2 more. Okay, let's just bend into one knee. So we've got one leg straight, one knee bent. We're just taking a stretch on the inner thigh down here. Take a shoulder press. Just work with the stretch. into shoulder press. See if you can get your elbow going up kind of past the ear. So you can almost take the weight just above the shoulder and then lift up. Head's nice and still. Stay strong there through the torso, the core. Just swap your legs over, bend the knee. Take your stretch. Inside leg, getting a nice little stretch out. Shoulder press. Eye gaze forwards. Don't look down. And just a couple more. Okay, let's put the weights down for the next one. I'm still going to work on the wide legs. Just going to adjust that so you can see my legs. Wide legs, and just go into that one leg and then the other leg. A bit like when we did this jazz walk in the warm-up. Start to kind of loosen up a bit with the shoulders, the head. We're going into towards one knee and then over to the other. Then if it feels good, release the hands. That's when you can imagine you're like seaweed, just floating and flowing in the waves. Moving in front of one foot round to the other foot round. Allowing the head to drop. Chin down towards, chin kind of pressing towards the chest. Then your choice how you want to straighten legs in here, but you don't have to. You can deeply bend in the knees, work with the hips more than your hamstrings there. Just take a couple more of these. Seaweed spine. Coming to center, place your hands on your shins and see if you can make a nice table with your back. That was just my computer doing a ba-ba-ba-bum. Don't know why it does that. So nice straight back. Crown of head in line with the spine. Holding this nice and still just for the stretch on the backs of the legs here. Take 3 deep breaths, really. Inhale, widen the rib cage. Exhale, hold your position, don't crumble on the exhale. Inhale, really inflate the lungs like you're blowing up a balloon. Exhale, hold your position. Just one more breath. Okay, walking the legs into center. We've got a few balance exercises next. I'm going to have to adjust this slightly so you can see all of me. If I go like that, might be better. This ties in with what I said at the beginning. I said, just as we logged in, about being to do with elements. So just choose one leg, stand on one leg. Just rubbing palms together. Getting some heat there between the hands. And then just covering your eyes. See if you can close your eyes or cover your eyes with your hands. Hold your balance. Perhaps anchoring through your big toe, your pelvic floor, your glute muscle. Then release your hands away from your face, opening your eyes, and we're gonna just take tree pose to start with. Hands at heart center. Your choice on your tree, how high you like to lift into the hip position. This is when you connect with earth. So imagine your tree, your roots going down into the ground, and as we're coming out of spring, we're going to start seeing buds on the trees, so we can start lifting up our palms, and that energy goes directly towards growing our buds, up towards the sky. Breathing in, so if you can lift. And then release your arms down, and then we'll take eagle. So this is going to connect to air energy. So crossing your legs, same leg on balance here. Up to you how far you want to bind into an eagle. Then you've got the opposite elbow to that leg that's in front is going to swipe under the other elbow, and if you can, interlink the fingers, cross the wrists. And then we're thinking about air. We can think about circling here if we want to, with the elbows, or lifting. If you think about the eagle as it lifts and it flies, soars over the ground, lifting the hands up. Exhale, release your bind. And on the next one, we're going to go dancer. So dancer, if you know, is where you hold on to your ankle, and then we can lift. So you can bring that knee up to you. You can take hold of the inside of the foot, and you get the opening there more on your chest. You can also put a mudra in here if you want to, index finger and thumb touch to help you with your balance. Dancer connecting to the fire element. Create fire inside the body, heat. And then the last one, just stepping backwards, interlink the fingers behind. Stretching the calf muscle there on the back. Then just looking up. So take the eye gaze up, opening there on the chest. And here we're connecting. I want you to think about the moon, so perhaps the idea of looking up. And the moon connecting also to the water element, the tides. And then just exhale, letting go of any tension in the shoulders, or perhaps in the calf muscle. And then release. So then we'll go on to the other side. So let's start there with just rubbing the hands. Swap legs. Take your simple balanced position. Doesn't have to be super high with the lift. Just hover that foot off the floor. Closing the eyes, place the hands over the eyes. Anchor yourself. 3 elements in the foot, the big toe perhaps, the pelvic floor, the glutes. Might be harder on this second side. Then release, work with your tree. Your choice again, how high you want to bring in your hip opener on your tree, hands at heart center. Imagining those roots going down into earth. Inhale, lifting up, arms over the head. Eye gaze goes forwards. If you want really challenging here, take the eye gaze up to the fingers. And then bring the hands down or release them round to the sides. Find your eagle bind. So cross that leg over the front. Then you've got the opposite elbow dipping underneath. Interlink your fingers if you can. And then you could either work with circles here, like you're in a thermal there, you're flying, or perhaps lifting up the hands. Think about the air element. Exhale, release the hands, find your dancer pose. Working with fire here. Maybe you feel the fire on your quad muscle. Feel some heat. You can always take the inside of the foot. You can dip your chest forwards here. You can work with the mudra. Thumb together with index finger. Extend all the other fingers. Light a fire on your desire. And then let's just step simply back, interlink the fingers behind, opening the chest, lift the heart space, perhaps lifting the chin, looking upwards, connecting with the moon, water. Perhaps just imagine the breath is like water just washing over the body here. Release tension out of the shoulders. Try to let go of that calf muscle. And release. Bit of a shake out from there. Bit of a shake, a tap if you need a tap. We're going to go single leg exercise next. Your choice here. Go and do one exercise. Do 10 on each leg. You might have time for 2 sets on dips or lunges because they're a little bit quicker. So you've got your single leg dips on a chair or standing. You've got lunges. Reverse lunges are probably quite nice. And you can add weights into that. You've got deadlifts with weights as well if you want, or your chair squats, single leg chair squats, sitting back on a chair, sitting down, standing up with one leg. I am going to add in too, for anyone that finishes early and wants anything different, Bulgarian split squat. You're going to place your foot on a chair. This one's very much quad based. Again, you can put weights into that one. And you're coming down, lifting up. Very similar to a lunge, but more intensity on the front of the leg. The other one I'm going to add in, so if you finish your sets, you want something different, is calf raise, or heel raise we sometimes call it. It's calf raise, 10 on each leg. So you can add your weights in, you can always put your shoulder press in if you're adding weights in as well, or you could do a little fun bicep curl in the middle or something like that as well if you want to. Keep the focus on squeezing these glutes, sending the hips forwards and up, and let's just think about working through the alignment of the foot and the knee nice and smoothly in a nice, think about nice straight lines up through things. We're not letting that knee pronate in, we're controlling the arch underneath the foot the best we can. So once you're back in, we're going to go downward dog. So we'll make our way down to the mat. And it's back on your jazz walk in a downward dog. So we'll all meet there. Just getting that ready. See if everyone's back with us. Send those hips up towards the ceiling. If you feel like you haven't done a downward dog for a little while, you're not feeling like you're getting into that really nice mountainy peak shape, then maybe just have a little go. Walk the hands back to the feet. And then walk it back out again, all the way to plank. And then send the hips back up. And just kind of play with walking the hands in, getting into the position that you want to be in, working with the backs of the legs, a stretch in there. Deeply bending in the knees. Maybe it's the first inversion of your day or of your week or a couple of weeks maybe. All the blood's going to rush to the brain. It's a really nice way to energize the body. Take a couple of deep breaths. Bring it down onto all fours. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Taking a moment here to find neutral spine. So there's a pelvic tilt. We just need to make any adjustments. Find the core muscles. Eye gaze to the front of the mat. So really nice and simple here. Opposite arm, opposite leg, extend. Take your low handshake and lift. Lifting up that leg so it's just level with the hips. Eye gaze to the front. Pause and then release. Just nice and slow. Exhale. Squeeze in those glutes. I want you to notice where your arm is coming to. So you're getting your arm up here level with your shoulder. Fingers are extended. You're really reaching there, front forwards. Point the toes in there if you can as well. Is your back foot that's resting doing any work there? So see if you can take the weight off the resting leg, the resting foot. Maybe even lifting that foot. Exhale into that lift. Pause. Stretch it out. You feel the glutes squeezing. Then bring the focus back onto TVA, transverse abdominis. Are we pulling that belly button in up towards the spine? Have we forgotten about it? See if you can come back to it. Just 3 more. Extend, squeeze. Feel the glutes squeeze. Feel the connection with the TVA. Last one. Then it's going to be stepping forwards, low lunge. Perhaps thinking about the back toes again, just tuck those toes under, get a little toe stretch. Either hands resting on the knee or reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Eye gaze forwards. See if you can get your arms around your ears. Feel that stretch there on the quad, the hip flexor. Bringing the hands down towards the middle of your mat. Take lizard, so front toes go off the mat, heel on the mat. Lizards there for your hips, so perhaps a little rocking side to side. Explore any tightness there in your hips. And then you can stay there in lizard, or I'm going to invite you to go down into pigeon. So you're just bringing that knee towards that front hand. Take a moment to lift here, lift up the heart space. And then exhale, you can lower this down. Either just resting on your elbows, or if you prefer, bring your forehead all the way down towards the mat, or you can always add a block there. Big stretch for the hips, the glutes. You can always do your pigeon on your back, lying on your back, bring your knee towards your chest, taking your foot internally to the midline of the body. Noticing the breath. Have you been holding the breath at any point? So just perhaps take a couple of deep breaths here. Inhale fully. Long, nice exhales. Then we'll come up, we'll go to the other side with that low lunge, step forwards with the other leg, tuck those back toes under, square the hips to the way you're facing, start with your hands on your knee, you could circle them all the way around, reach up towards the ceiling, eye gaze forwards. Couple of deep breaths here and just trying not to collapse on the exhale. So if you inhale fully, widen the rib cage. As you exhale, use all your posture muscles, use your core muscles, try not to collapse in the body. Then bring the hands down through center, toes off the mat, heel on the mat, find your lizard and your hip stretch. I didn't see any lizards in Spain, surprisingly. Don't know why. Or snakes. Did see loads of toad spawn this morning though. In the pond down by where I walk. Don't know why that links to lizards and snakes, sorry. Weird connections. Then let's go down into pigeon. Maybe it's too cold for the lizards. Take a moment, get your lift. And then exhale, you can bring it down onto elbows or explore going down a little bit further. I think before I've maybe given reaching the arms forwards as well, if you like that one. So from there we'll go to Sphinx position. So make your way there. Elbows underneath your shoulders. Start to lift up the heart space as you send the hips down. And maybe you feel an abdominal stretch already, just finding that you're Sphinx. Crown of head rising, shoulders going down away from the ears. So you could work with Sphinx, and again, inhale, exhale, try not to crumble, so try and stay nicely lifted on that exhale. Or you could take your cobra, so bring your hands directly under your shoulders and then work into a lift or a half lift and lower. Nice and slowly here. Exhale as you lift. Inhale as you lower. Tuck your elbows into the body. Relax your feet. Crown of head rising. Just one more. Lowering down, rest your head on your hands. And because I'm working with a bit of a reset today, we're going to take that glute activation in prone. So squeezing in the glute, lifting up your leg, point the toes here if you can. Feel the hamstring work. The other side of the lower back, stabilize your hips and then go to the other side. Feel that glute squeeze first. Exhale as you lift. Inhale as you lower. Try and work with that chain, 1, 2, 3, glute, hamstring, lower back. Notice if you're putting lots of weight into the resting foot to balance, so see if you can let go of that. Work more here with the core, lower back muscles. Just 2 more. Then take your quad stretch, so just bending in one knee, reaching back, holding on to the ankle. Passive, you just hold here, let go of the hips, let go of the tightness in the quads. If you want more of an active stretch, go back onto Sphinx. Press your hand, reach around, press your hand into your foot. So just work with your body, work with your day. If you've had a really sedentary day, you might work more with the active stretching. If you've had a busy day, you need a rest, you need to release tension, then work more with the passive stretching. And then we'll go over to the other side. And it's the same. Bending in the knee. Let go of the hips, the lower back, the quads. Or you're pressing. Notice if you're holding the breath in any way. So bow and tilted bow, if anyone wants them, I can't wait to do tilted bow. Otherwise, you could bend the knees and just drift your heels over to the side. Take a gentle windscreen wiper for the lower back. If you're there with bow, holding onto the ankles, take the shoulders back, lift up the chest, lift up the knees. You can bring the eye gaze forwards, lift the chin slightly. Exhale, roll it over. Shoulders stretch in there. Definitely missed this one after a week off. Okay, from there we're going to swan dive, so find a capital E position with your hands. I'm going to put my block in for my extension here. I quite like that to know how high that I can lift on my swan dive. So I'm just going to place that in front of me. Can you see it? Yeah, just in front of the mat. Capital E position, elbows in line with shoulders. Exhale, lift head and shoulders. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. You can bring the arms up there as well if you want to. And then inhale, lower. Exhale, lift if you want here. You can bring in your extension. And again, if you've put your prop in there, you've got it in front of you. You can pause, take a stretch there if you want to. And add in the extra breath. Coming back nice and high in that capital E and lower. Number one for posture this. So if you've been sat down at a desk or driving, or even just feeling like you've been shoulders rounding over, just that little bit too long, come back to your swan dive. Last one. Then we're coming back onto all fours. It's cat position, rounding in the back, tuck the pelvis under, space between the shoulder blades, chin to chest, and just breathe. Send the breath between the shoulder blades. And then like we've done all throughout, just letting yourself free flow for a little bit if you want to circle, spiral, figure eight, with hips or with shoulders, just allowing the body to move, exploring any corners. You can wrist stretch here if you've got tightness sitting in the wrists. Anyone's feeling any more kind of round the inner thigh or hips, you could take leg to the side, rock forwards and back. I know we've done that one before. You can bend in that knee as well if you want to explore circles in the hips. So we often find we often have different areas of tightness, different bodies. So just kind of find where you've got your tightness sitting. Have a little play. If it's particularly in shoulders, you could also walk forwards, take puppy dog, walk forwards with your hands, and walk that back in. Okay, let's come into plank position, elbows underneath your shoulders. I definitely missed this. I didn't do any planks last week, the whole week. Ah. Option one, knees down. Let's work with the pelvic floor, work with that TVA pulling in, tuck the pelvis under. Option two, legs straight. About 30 seconds here today. Crown of head in line with the spine. Remember to breathe. Perhaps focusing on the exhale. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. From here, we're going to go low plank to high plank. So you can always take a rest in between. We can bring the knees down if you've not got knees down. Lifting up, high plank position, lowering down. So if you can do 5, let's work up till 10. We'll work up to 10 by the end of the month. Working with 5 today. Pushing up. Good shoulder strength. Lowering down. Shoulders down away from ears. Feel the core muscles working. Feel that fire. That heat in the body. Once you've done your 5, we're going to go into child's pose. Sit back to your heels. Bring your thumbs to touching, your index fingers touch, making a diamond shape just in front of the head. Bring your head down. If your head doesn't get down to the floor, you could always add a block in there. Lift the floor up. Deep breaths now, then so send the breath to the lower back and expand. Expand a little bit more, breathing in more air, send it up the spine, all the way to the crown of the head. Just spoil the body with breath, so just really inflate. Give the body so much breath, it feels like the first time you've breathed today. Okay, from there then, how are we doing on time? Running out of time. Let's do a little quick series on the side. Option here if you want to put in, so you might want these things ready, loop bands on a clam and weights on a seated twist. So find your merman, mermaid positions. This in itself is a nice little hip exercise, isn't it? Then hand down to the side, reaching up with the other hand, breathing in. Breathing out, threading that hand through. Follow that position with your chin, your eye gaze, your shoulder. And then again, if you want, you can put your weight in there. So you can do a weighted twist if you want to. Exhale into your twist. Any tightness in the wrist, you can always take this down onto an elbow. One more. We're going to go to clams, so place the weight down. Loop bands if you want them in there, just above the knee. Lying on your side, lift up your heels. Just get your heels in line with your hips, your shoulders, and then pull in the core. Lift and lower top knee. Start with 50, we might work up to 30 at the end of the month with this. Exhale as you lift, inhale as you lower. Just being aware that we're not tilting with the hips, we're not rocking there with the hips. So I often put a hand there to stop it. Didn't see any mermaids on the beach in Spain, as well as the lizards. I expect too much, don't I, when I go on holiday? Couple more of these. Then we're going to have to come out of the bands actually for this next one. Bottom leg, bend the bottom leg, take that bottom leg down to the ground. Then just explore a circle with the hip. Starting with a bent knee here, working with the glutes still, you're going to feel it after doing clams. Then if you want to, take a straight leg, one leg circle on the side. Work really hard to keep everything still, the pelvis, the hips, so we're not rocking here. We're working hard with the core as well. So we feel the muscles in the pelvis stretching, working, strengthening to hold this position. One more circle, other way around if you haven't done, sorry. Then straighten both legs just for a moment. Go to a double leg lift. Both legs lift. Lift up the rib cage like you could just post a postcard there underneath your rib cage. Take your arm up over the head, taking circles. Go back to the idea of the full moon. Big moon on the ceiling. Just exploring that shoulder stretch. Keeping those legs lifted. One more. And releasing down. Let's go on to the other side with those three. Starting with the seated twist. 4. It was actually 4 moves, wasn't it? This side's bound to be tighter. Breathing in lift. Breathing out, thread through. Thinking about just opening that heart space. Adding in that weight if you wanted to. Always take it down on the elbow if you're struggling with the wrist. Just 2 more. Then bringing the weight down if you've got the weight, then find your clams. Glute bands there if you want them. Bending the knees, lift the heels up, then with the hips, the shoulders, the hips. Oh, I said the hips. Lift and lower that top knee. Try and stay open here in the chest, the shoulders, so we're not closed here. So the upper body's kind of staying open with this as well. Exhale into your lift, inhale into your lower. Try not to open there in the hips. I'm trying really hard not to say anything silly about my holiday. I don't know if you can tell. Can't think of anything right now, but I'm just trying to, in my head I'm like, don't say anything silly. Okay, let's go to that double leg lift. Oh no, the one leg circle, so coming out of the band. Bend the bottom knee. Start with a bent knee, just exploring in that hip. Like you're just putting a bit of olive oil in that hip joint there and you're just oiling it up. You can go the other way around with that as well. You'll notice as well with these moves, we put them on the side, the one leg circle. If you've got any shoulder issues, you'll find them there down in the lower leg and the hips as well. So then you can straighten the legs, take your circles. Try and keep the pelvis still, the hips still as you explore those stretches there. Stay nice and open on the top of the body. Other way around. Are you circling backwards as well? Sometimes as well, we think with this as well, just putting the circles at the front of the body. So think about exploring that backwards part of it as well, the circles. Just a couple more. And then straighten the legs in. Let's go for that double leg lift now. Lift one leg, lift the other leg, lift up your rib cage, arm up to the ceiling. Take these circles back. So it goes over the head, take it backwards. Just exploring that stretch there in the shoulder with the balance. Couple more. Eye gaze forwards, try not to look down at the legs. And last one. Okay, lovely, let's go on to our backs. Let's go to the 100. We're going to do 5 sets, 4 toe taps, 8 pulses, and an 8-second hold. I did do this once on holiday because I was feeling nostalgic about my Pilates class. Okay, here we go. Let's find neutral spine. Relax your shoulders. Get the length at the back of the neck. Any tightness in the neck, just put in a cushion or a block at the back of the head. Let's go then. 4 toe taps, lifting, lowering. 3, 2, 1. Are you pulling in the core now? Imprint that lower back. Pulse the arms. Keep the tummy still. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fingertips to knees, hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. And let's go up if you've got it on tabletop. 4, 3, 2, 1. Still imprinting pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straightening those legs, hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And again then toe tap. 4, 3, 2, and 1 to pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 8, 7, 6, and breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And again then 4, 3, and breathe. 2, 1. Imprint. Pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Teasers if you've got them now. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Full body stretch. Give everything a bit of a squeeze. Point the toes. Squeeze your glutes here. Get your shoulders up to your ears. Scrunch your fists. Scrunch up your face. Take a really big deep breath in. Breathing out, release all the muscles, relax for a moment. Bending the knees. Palms together, pointing to the ceiling. Find your imprint again, use your core muscles. Hold your arms still as you heel slide away. So alternate your heel slide and see if you can keep your hands pointing up to the ceiling. Palms touching. Shoulder blades imprinting. Try not to let your hips tilt side to side, and if your hips tilt here, maybe your hands tilt as well. So let's just work with this connection, shoulders and hips. Try and keep these hands still. If you can do that, you want to go up a layer. Start by just taking a leg, not sliding, but just extending. So a single leg stretch and then placing it back down. Again, let's keep these hands still. There's no rocking motion in here yet. If we've got that, you can always tabletop this. Again, so if you can keep these hands still. Exhale into the lengthening. Imprint lower back down. You've got that, you want some movement here with the hands, and you can do this still if you're heel sliding. Bring your hands across to the outside of the bent knee. And you can take this back down into heel slide, or you can go straight on into that tabletop position and add in the upper body, shoulder dipping down and across. 4 more, whichever layer you're on. Feet on the mat, arms separated now, pointing up to the ceiling. Take them over the head if you've got the space. Circle that all the way around the outside of the body, back towards the knees. Long exhales here. Perhaps 8 seconds, something like that on this exhale. Relax your shoulders. Try not to let that chest flare on this. So see if you can keep all the chest rib cage down towards the mat, grounded. Adding in, if you want, you could take your single leg stretch as the arms go over the head, and you can alternate your legs with that, or take your double leg. Your legs extend, your arms go over the head. Four more, whichever layer that you're on. Maybe you're just circling those arms, working with a nice length there through the spine, not letting that chest lift. Really stretch out through the fingertips now. Then take the arms to the sides. If you can, go straight into this. We're on tabletop, drift across, extend out to your corners. If tabletop's too challenging, feet down on the mat, knees dropping to the side. So it would be your lower back release, your chest stretch, spine twist. Or if you're on that tabletop, it's really juicy hamstring stretching, and also that IT band. And then everyone bring it down, feet on the mat, spine twist, chest stretch. Exhale as you lower it down. Let's go to a hamstring stretch next then. So you might want your long bands in on this one. I've gone over time slightly. I don't know where the time's gone. Hope everyone's okay with that. Sorry about that. I think it went on the balance exercises I did at the beginning slightly. Let's take the hamstring stretch, so 30 seconds. Push away at the back of the knee. If you do need to get going on time, it is videoed, so I can send you the link so you can finish it. Push away at the back of the knee. We're going to go about 30 seconds. Any tightness there in the calf muscle, shins, do your flex and point, or your inside outside with your foot. Trying not to lift our bums off the mat here, so just trying to keep the hips down onto the grounded onto the mat, not lifting up the hips. And then just taking that leg out to the side. Inner thigh stretch. Same leg, bring it across for glutes, flex the foot. Think about the hips here, they wiggled as you've got into your glute stretch. So just notice if that leg, the resting leg's drifted across your midline. So keep it there, hip width. You might want to interlink the fingers behind that leg, hold your stretch. Just notice what's happened to the top of the body. So have you lifted your chin? Have your shoulders left the mat? So just see if you can reset posture-wise. If you're struggling with the neck there, you can always put something at the back of the neck to support the neck on that one. Okay, let's go over onto the hamstring on the other side. 30 seconds. Push away at the back of the knee. Relax those shoulders. Again, the same thing here with your neck. So if you're lifting your chin up to the ceiling, you could always take your other hand and just place it at the back of the head. Keep that length there at the back of the neck. If that helps, or grab a cushion. Again, you can flex and point if you've got any niggles there in the lower leg and you want to just have a little stretch through them. And then taking that leg out to the side. And then the glutes. So place that foot just on top of the knee, above the knee. Flexing the top foot. Maybe you can interlink and place your hands underneath, thread through. Again, imprint those shoulders down, get the length at the back of the neck. And breathe. Okay, let's release from there, band to the side. Let's take our shoulder bridge. Heels, bring them a little bit closer to your body. You can touch those heels perhaps, and then take a pelvic tilt. Treat it like a massage for the lower back. So just see if you can connect with each vertebrae down towards the bottom of your spine. Notice what's happening with the shoulders as you do that at the same time. So are you holding tension in the shoulders? Does your rib cage flare as you take your position, change your position with your pelvis? Does anything change in your neck as well as another thing to think about? So try and release the tension out of your shoulders. Keep the length at the back of the neck as you massage down through the lower part of the spine. Adding in, if you want, then lifting up the hips. Take the arms over the head, chin goes towards chest. Take your shoulder bridge position, hips lifted. Challenges, if you want them, you could take a one leg lift. And then you could hold that lift as you take the arms down, arms back. And then you could swap legs. Or perhaps just a little flick is enough. Flick and then lift might be enough, or you might want to, unless you want to challenge yourself with the arm positioning. Just do one arm over and back for now. We'll build it up this month to 4 or 5. So if you're there on top player, I will build through the month. Feeling those glutes squeeze, trying to keep those hips still. Couple more, whichever layer that you're going to be on. Start to bring the arms back down. The hips slowly lowering down, hug knees to chest, rock or circle. So if you can bring that up to seated position. So also thinking about massaging for the spine here. We'll do rollbacks. If you don't want to roll back, you could massage the spine with C-shape the spine to an upright position. Just try not to lift the chin at the end of that one. So just protecting the top of the back, the neck as well. If you don't want any more spine work here, take your butterfly stretch, soles of feet together, and just take a rest in butterfly stretch. We can do our rocking if you want more of a massage. So if you can come back to hover position, you could take that to roll over and lengthen out the legs. If you want a little bit more of a stretch there in hamstrings. You might want a shoulder stand. Any more hamstring work, you could boomerang. So crisscross the legs, come to shoulder stand, bring it down, cross the legs, pulse forwards. So again, just work with whatever your body needs today. What's it been doing? And we'll all meet in soles of feet together, butterflies stretch. Just to finish, coming up to finish. That was my tummy rumbling. Could you hear that? Did anyone else hear that? No, just me. Good. Probably, well, now you all know because I've just said it. Let's spine twist. I'm going to grab a block. So you can always grab blocks or cushion, get nice and upright. Hands at heart center. Breathe in, just get nice and tall here. Breathing out for a twist. You want to feel it on those long strands, the nadis. It's like where the energy, the nervous system wraps around the spine. Come back to center. Exhale. It's going to feel different to other twists we do, like a seated twist, things like that. It doesn't feel the same as that. You only really get into the nadis if you're in this upright position. If you're in any way kind of dipping shoulders or chin or anything like that, you're not going to fully get into those nadis. So I will say, if you're struggling to get in the upright, is to place the hands down a little bit and see if that helps put you into this upright position slightly, into that twist. Do a couple where you release tentacles and then go back into hands at heart center and just feel if that's helped you work into that twist. Coming back to center, I'm going to share you what's on my calendar this week, this month in March. I have like a little Buddha calendar, it's very nice. 3 things cannot be long hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. With that, namaste.